Welcome back, personal finance students. We are going to work through a math problem here today. And our situation is you were asked by a friend who is having some financial trouble, and they are thinking about cashing out their 401k plan. And here are some of the facts they brought with. Now, in theory, a 401k plan is a retirement savings plan that was intended for you to take money out of your paycheck before your paycheck is taxed. So it's tax deferred money, and you're supposed to hold on to that money or leave that money till age 59 and a half. Something's happened, whatever the something is, right? You have a family emergency, something's going on at home, and you need to cash this out. And it could be something where it's like, well, if I don't get some money, I'm going to lose my house. I don't want to lose my house. So while this is not a great option, it's the option I'm going to choose. As we take a look, here are some of the facts to our case. Right now, the value of the account is $72,000, and we're going to cash it all out today. This person was earning $1,200 per pay period, and they were getting that twice per month. They were contributing 9%. The employer was matching 3%. And they were leaving or they were investing this money for the last 6 years. Right? So as we look at kind of how much money we're going to get, they're going to write us a check for $72,000. And you go, well, that was pretty simple, Mr. Clem. What are we going to do? The problem or the challenge comes in is, of that $72,000, how much are we going to need to set aside to cover both our tax bill from the regular income tax and the capital gains, and along with setting aside the 10% penalty? Right? They're not going to do that for us. Well, scratch that. We could ask them to do that for us. Right? We could say, set this money aside and send it to the federal government in withholding, so at least I've prepaid some of this. But if you don't tell them, they won't. They'll just cut you the check for $72,000 and say, thanks, see you later. So let's start doing some math. We're going to start with the simplest one out there. We're going to start with our 10% penalty. Now, for whatever reason, Clem is not age 59 and a half, and I'm going to cash out my full $72,000 401k plan. So my 10% penalty is 10% of the $72,000 I'm cashing out. So penalty is $7,200. That's the easy one. We're ballparking numbers here, right? We're ballparking a 30% regular income tax rate. That may not be the situation when you start crunching this math in a real life deal, but for now, we're just going to use it as our ballpark number. Okay. So the question is, we were paying money every paycheck over the last 6 years. And the question is, how much money did we set aside? Because in theory, that money was supposed to be taxed at a 30% regular income tax rate. But we never did, right? We didn't set that money aside, or we didn't pay that tax because this was a tax deferred idea. Well, now, since we didn't play by the rules and we didn't wait till age 59 and a half, we got to pay that tax. So if we have $1,200 a month and we are setting aside 9% in our investment, we're setting aside $108 per paycheck. Now the employer is matching at a 3% rate. So the employer is kicking in $36. Now, this is per paycheck. we're going to have 2 paychecks in a month. So we're putting aside $216 a month, and our employer is kicking in $72 a month. Right? So take your salary, or my earnings. I'm putting away 9%, the employer is kicking in 3%. So we got a by paycheck number, we've got a monthly number. There are 12 months in a year. $216 times 12 is $25.92. 72 times 12 is $864. And our problem said we did this for a total of 6 years. So we figured out that we were putting $108 per paycheck, 2 paychecks a month, 12 months in a year, and we did it for a total of 6 years. So I put $15,552 away. My employer matched some of that money. So again, that is compensation. They put away about $5,000, $51.84 to be exact. When I add those two numbers together, I paid in, between myself and my employer, I kicked in about $20,000. That money was never taxed at a regular income tax rate. And again, we're ballparking the regular income tax rate. We're ballparking at 30%. So I should have paid over the course of time an additional $6,220.80 in taxes. Make that number a little cleaner for you. 6,220.80. So this is regular income tax. Again, I'm going to get a check in the mail for $72,000, but I need to set aside about $7,200 because I'm going to get a penalty because I didn't wait till age 59 and a half. I'm also going to get a tax bill on the money that was invested and never taxed, so I'm going to have about a $6,200 regular income tax bill. Well, if the value of my fund was $72,000 and I paid in, or my cost basis, was $20,000, that tells me I made, I don't know, about $50,000 in profit. That profit is going to be taxed at a capital gains rate. Again, we're ballparking these numbers, and we're using a 20% capital gains tax rate. So $72,000 was the value. $20,736 was my cost basis. The difference between those two numbers is about $51,000. Because this is gain on the investment, it's going to be taxed at a 20% capital gains tax rate. And again, we're ballparking this math. If we had had some of that money for only a year, maybe that tax rate is different. If we've had some of that money longer than a year, again, maybe some of that tax rate is different. We're just giving you a general feel that my capital gains tax is going to be $10,252.80. So there's my capital gains. So when it's all said and done, I had the value of my investment, right? I got the check in the mail for $72,000. I've got a 10% penalty of $7,200. I've got a 30% regular income tax. That's a penalty. Regular income tax was $6,220.80. And my 20% capital gains was $10,252.80. In reality, I'm going to need to set aside a decent chunk of this in taxes, and I should assume that I'm going to have about $48,000 to live on, right? Whatever the reason is. If I do some ballpark math and I divide that by the value of the total investment, I'm taking home about 0.67. So I'm covering about a 33% loss in value. The value of this investment started at $72,000. I'm only taking home about $48,000 of it. That is the significance of the penalties and the taxes by not waiting until age 59 and a half. So as we do that math, we're going to get another assignment to take a look at here and use this same general structure to crunch out that math so we're prepped and ready to go for our math when we get to our test.